evening, race fans, and welcome to the Pro Street Stock Series sponsored by East Action Sports. As always, my name is James East on behalf of TeamGoonSquad.com, bringing the action 1080p 60 frames a second as we get ready for another exciting round here at the virtual Phoenix International Raceway. Today, we're taking it back to the Legacy Series and getting all of our drivers ready to go out on track here today as we get everybody gridded up. Let's take a look at tonight's grid. Starting up front, it's Tyler McRae with Dropping Bombs Race, the number 99 machine starting on pole. Patrick Sullivan, number 16, starting second. You've got James Silvers starting third on the grid with his friend Michael Vandermeet fourth. Jordan Babinger, the number 48 machine, starting fifth. Matt Bear starting sixth in the number 19 machine. Jacob Feskin in the number 926 starting seventh on the grid. Brett Edgar with the number 98 race car, he's starting eighth. Cole Patrick in the 116 machine starting ninth. John Friley in the 06 machine starting 10th here today. Steven Rex, number 28, starting 11th. Spencer Breslin, number 53, is starting 12th on track. Then you've got Radburn Shutters in the 42 starting 13th. Mark Proctor and the number 36 starting 14th on tonight's grid. Andrew Neri in the 654 starting 15th. Blaze Andridge in the number 7, I believe that is, starting 16th on the grid. Tyler Evans starting 17th. You've got Paul Garner starting 18th, Ryan Perkins starting 19th, Jonathan Bronson starting 20th, and you've got Kai Demarest, our active race control here today. It's 150 laps here under the sweltering hot sun at Phoenix as we get ready to get this party started. Still a lot of things shaking up as we've seen a lot of great racing and green flag runs throughout the season so far. Now Phoenix is one of those tracks that's a little bit tougher for some of our competitors, as it is very, very hot out there, very slick, and very exciting to see. The current team points, you've got Dropping Bombs Racing out front with 112 points. Lodo Racing with 73 points on the board. Devil Core Racing currently third in points with 62 points to their team. East Action Sports has 45 points. Perkins Motorsports has 15 points. And then a new team, Hayward Racing, has 7 points out on the grid here today. So it's going to be interesting to see how things shake up as we get ready to send them out along their way. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. This is round 4 of the pro season. All these drivers pay weekly to get into the race, as well as having a team charter per car. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with 20 cars on track here at Phoenix. Are we going to see the green flag runs we've had in the past, or is carnage going to set in as we have a couple of new drivers out there today? And let's see what's going to happen, as it's going to be McRae and Sullivan on the front row, two good friends on and off the track. Gonna wait for that iRacing pace car to make its way in. Now this initial start has to be on green per the rule book. So let's keep an eye on McRae and Sullivan, who let it rip, and away we go for 150 laps under the hot Phoenix sun. It is McRae and Sullivan side by side going into turn 1. Behind them you've got James Silver's number 21 machine. Looks like Vandermeet's making his way up as well. Matt Bear leaving the pit lane a little bit late, it looks like. Maybe having some sort of problem with the number 19 machine. As everybody's trying to find a dance partner early on here today, it is McRae and Sullivan still side by side. Behind them, you've got James Silvers. Jordan Babinger has moved up one spot so far. The number 48 machine, see if he can make an outside line work. And look at our race leaders putting on a show. Now Babinger swaps to the inside of James Silver's 21 machine. It looks like he may have him here, as everyone trying to carry as much speed as they can without letting loose of the traction. As look at that massive field here tonight. 20 cars making it out for the main event. And the grids just keep getting bigger and bigger. Up front, you got a little bit of contact between Sullivan and McRae. No harm, no foul, but that's going to push Sullivan a little bit wide. That may allow Babinger, the number 48 machine, to catch up here. And look at that, here comes Babinger. He's going to go to the inside of Steven Rex as well. Can he make it stick, as this is some good, tight racing out on track? We've clicked off 3 laps. They're clicking them off. They're averaging about 30-second lap times here today. So not too bad from our competitors, already putting out some really fast times despite how slick it is. But look at that, Sullivan gets a little bit of a moment. Babinger goes into the wall, able to collect himself. How is that going to affect him later on in the run? One of the longer races we have scheduled for this season is estimated to be about 75 minutes long, as everyone's still shuffling around the racetrack trying to make some moves. Spencer Breslin has a little bit of an internet problem as well in the number 53 machine. And these guys are pushing hard and not really showing any signs of slowing down. Everybody's doing a great job. Now that is one of the good things about this Pro Series. It, by design, attracts a bunch of good, talented racers that can run clean and really trust each other to push as hard as they can. Oh, there they go. A big crash towards the back. It's a yard sale. There's cars everywhere. Andrew Neri having to dive through. Jonathan Friley comes into pit lane by accident, and that's going to bring out the first caution of the night. And we're going to get the pace car out and see all who's collected in that one. Stephen Rex coming into pit lane. John Friley coming into pit lane. Can't believe Neri in the 654 machine was able to get through that clean. That was quite spectacular. So it looks like it's going to be Cole Patrick, Jonathan Bronson, John Friley in the pits, as we're going to re-rack him and send him back out. But that was a huge crash early on here today. Stephen Rex coming back into pit lane, number 28 machine, possibly getting some repairs done on that race car. We're going to re-rack them 2 rows wide and about 10 rows deep, as we've lost a few drivers that are still in pit lane here. Looks like John Friley, Jonathan Bronson, and possibly Stephen Rex going to have some extended stays in our pit lane, trying to get those race cars hammered back into shape so they can get back on track later on and maybe salvage some points. There's both individual points at play as well as the team points, so every driver motivated to do the best that they absolutely can. As we get ready to put the pace car in, we're going to send our drivers back out. They've got a long way to go at this rate. Pace car is in, and away they go. Now the initial start has to be on green. After that, it is up to the leaders on when they're going to start. As you see Jordan Babbitt look to the high line and then go back low, seeing if he can get around Patrick Sullivan's number 16 machine. It's one of those tracks that's easy to go fast early on, but you do not want to use too much of your tire. You only have about 3 sets of tires at your disposal. And oh, Perkins absolutely sends the number 7 machine. I believe that was Blaze Andrich involved in a big crash. Andrich involved. I believe Brett Edgar involved, as well as Cole Patrick, I believe, was involved in that one. That is Ryan Perkins, the number 6 machine. He is going to get an EOL for that one for causing an incident. Hopefully that didn't damage Andrich with the Hayward Racing number 7 machine too badly. And that'll bring out the second caution of the night. And we just got word from race control as well. Spencer Breslin, number 53 machine, will receive an EOL for having terrible internet. So we're going to see Breslin fall back here, number 53 machine, before the restart. Hopefully that's something he can correct before the green flag drops and get out there and start racing once more. So in the pit lane now, it's Matt Baer, Cole Patrick, Stephen Rex, Brett Edgar, Blaze Andrich, Ryan Perkins, Jonathan Bronson, and John Friley all in pit lane. Stephen Rex in and out relatively quickly in about 9 seconds for his pit stop, so not having substantial damage. In 11 laps, we've had 2 cautions, not the norm for sure for the Pro Series, so some of the guys having a rough go out there today. As As we're going to get ready to re-rack him, it's still Tyler McRae, Patrick Sullivan out front, Jordan Babinger in second, James Silver's fourth, Michael Vandermeed fifth. As we get ready to re-rack him, send him out for the third time here today. Let's see what McRae and Sullivan can do for us. Again, subsequent restarts are on the leader. Once that pace car is out in the pit lane, you're good to go, and away they go. It's McRae and Sullivan side by side, but here comes Jordan Babinger, the number 48 machine, charging hard, trying to work his way up around Patrick Sullivan. Seems to make it stick early on in turn one. Now here comes James Silvers as well, number 21, trying to make up some time. Everyone battling for points whenever they can get the chance. They know they've got a long way to go, and we have not had that many green flag laps here at Phoenix to really get in the groove. And as always, cautions breed cautions, which can get much more exciting from all of our competitors. Every time we re-rack the field, it allows guys to get together and scrap a little bit more, which is great for good racing and bad for those that want to keep it clean out there at times. Silver's working hard around Patrick Sullivan's number 16 machine to try and make something happen. Looks like Silvers is going to edge out Sullivan here going into turn one, diving it in deep. Sullivan maybe riding on a tire conservation strategy, trying not to push too hard too early on, allowing his competitors to burn out their tires. They have 3 sets of tires available in pit lane, but they don't want to use them too early, as it looked like that was going to be Vandermeed. Almost got to the side of Sullivan. Sullivan unable to get on that inside line that he wants as the field keeps coming through. Up front, it's still McRae and Babinger putting on a show. The number 99 and number 48 machine not having any woes or issues. Doing a great job charging through the field here. Michael Vandermeed, number 84, he's trying to make a move up into 4th place. He's currently 5th on track, trying to get around Patrick Sullivan's number 16 machine. It looks like Sullivan has dropped into the low line, able to finally get in that groove. Holding off Michael Vandermeed as well as Jacob Feskin and Radburn Shutters all running in tow here. It's about the top 7 drivers kind of driving the other. There's about 5 car lengths between Tyler McRae, Jordan Babinger to 3rd place, James Silvers. As you got John Friley making his way back out onto the racetrack after an early crash here today. And look at this, here comes Vandermeed on the inside line of Sullivan. These guys are racing hard here today at Phoenix. Starting to finally get down some good green flag laps. This is some great racing within our top 5. We're going to circle a little bit further back in the field as you've got the second pack of cars. This is the 8th place back, currently led by Andrew Neri, Mark Proctor, Stephen Rex, Matt Baer, all running very close to each other as Proctor looks to the inside line of Andrew Neri, trying to take over that 8th place spot. So good racing all across the racetrack. Vandermeed doing everything in his power to get around Sullivan's number 16 machine. You've seen that inside line be pretty clean and easy to make passes on, but how much more tires are these guys going through trying to hug that inside line, especially in these very hot, very greasy conditions? Are they using up too much tire early on? Again, the only time these guys are going to want to stop is under a caution or under a green flag just to take fuel. They don't want to come in just for tires if they have to, as the pit stop times in these street stock machines are so painfully long when you do have to take a full tank of gas. All these guys are running with a 40% fuel capacity for the Pro Series. Allows green flag stops to be quite the common occurrence. We've seen it in several races so far. Races can be won or lost on pit road. as it looks like Sullivan's getting in a groove here, able to start clicking him off and hold off Vandermeer for a little while. That's going to allow Jacob Feskin and the number 926 machine to try and make a move on Vandermeer. Up front, though, it's the two teammates, McRae and Babbinger, clicking it off, not having any issues. They've got about a half-second advantage over James Silver's third on track. But Silvers is charging up here in his number 21 machine to try and put some pressure on our top two drivers. Looks like Edgar came back into pit lane. The number 98 machine may have been overheating his race car after that incident, or may have something horrifically wrong. We're not sure. We'll have to check on him with a moment. But it's good to see these guys get a few green flag laps underway as our ticker seems to be messed up here. There we go. And look at that, Jordan Babbinger making a move for the lead, trying to get around Tyler McRae's number 99 machine. James Silvers wants to capitalize on that as well and start charging up towards the front. Is Silvers going to be able to stick his nose in against McRae's number 99 as he's going to drive it down deep on the inside line? McRae tries to squeeze him off, not quite able to. That may allow Silvers to take over second place. This is some great racing up front. The battle for second still heating up, as it looks like James Silvers is going to get just ever so slightly in front of McRae. That has slowed down the pace a little bit, as it has allowed Sullivan and Vandermeer to catch up. I believe Blaze Andrews might have had problems, as he has to bring it down to pit lane pretty rapidly. And look at this, here comes Patrick Sullivan, who seemed to have been falling off earlier tonight, charging his way back up front. He's still side by side with Vandermeer. These two cannot get away from each other. And it looked for a moment that Sullivan had a big run and was going to start pressuring McRae's number 99 machine to see if he could take over third place. But there's a lot of high-low action going on here, so he has to check up to avoid getting the outside wall. That's going to allow Vandermeer to run up the inside going into one. These guys putting on quite the show here today. Look at this, here comes Feskinen as well. He's starting to charge up as well. Number 926 started off 7th, has worked his way up into 6th. Had a chance to dive it in against Patrick Sullivan's number 16 machine, thought better of it, and lives to fight another day. So some great racing all the way around. Up front, it's Babbinger, Silvers, and McRae running hard. Michael Vandermeer finds himself about a half-second back into 4th place, accompanied by Patrick Sullivan. Feskinen seems to have fallen off the pace just a little bit. When you're in such a talented field, it's tough to make any moves early on. As look at this, here comes McRae on the inside line of Silvers, not able to make it stick, checks up in time. Engineering making his way back out on track after a minute in pit lane, trying to get some repairs done on the 654 machine. These three drivers up front putting on a nice clean show. Babinger, Silvers, McRae running very strong, really clicking off some laps here. It's going to be interesting to see what the pit strategy ends up being for these drivers, when they're going to have to come in for fuel, or can the tires even last a full fuel run, as they are charging hard and the track temp is quite hot here today in Phoenix. Ooh, Babinger gets just ever so slightly outside wall. That's going to allow Silvers to capitalize. Number 21 machine got close to contact, didn't make any, keeping it nice and clean up front. Sticks his nose in against the number 48, but I don't think he's going to have the drive out of the corner to make it stick. It's going to be interesting to see as he drifts up the racetrack. Barely avoids getting to the side of Babinger. Excellent car control from the number 21 driver. He's still looking to the inside line going into one, but he's got to be careful if Babinger pinches him off and slows him down. That's going to allow Tyler McRae to catch up with the number 99 machine and maybe make a 2-for-1 pass, as Silvers is not yielding at all, staying glued to that inside line. It looks like he's going to have it near the back corner, but he's going to be able to carry the drive out as he's got Babinger glued to the right side of him, the number 48 machine. Babinger's teammate McRae sees an opportunity as well. Is he going to try and push Silvers up towards the front, or opt to get behind his teammate and maybe give him a shove towards the front, as they are still side by side up front, putting on a show of car control. This is going to be tough to keep this momentum going, as the tire wear is really going to become a factor as things progress. Tyler McRae drops in behind James Silvers to see if maybe he can work his way up to the front. As these guys are battling side by side, that's going to allow Vandermeer, number 84 machine, to start catching up to the front three cars, as it looks like Silver is going to have a lead here going into turn one. He is able to get around Babinger. Tom McRae follows in suit, but has a big moment. He's lagging terribly, the number 99 machine. He's got problems on track, able to get it back under control. Look at this, here comes Vandermeer trying to make a move on Babinger. The two teammates, James Silvers, Michael Vandermeer, try to work their way up to the front, see if they can get around McRae and Babinger. Vandermeer looking hard. He started off fourth. He's still in fourth. He looks to the inside line along the number 48. It's the 48 and the 84, a mirror image here going side by side. And this is some great racing today at Phoenix for the Pro Street Stock Series. These guys putting on a fantastic show here today, not having any worries or issues. Keeping it nice and clean. Oh, look at that. Babinger gets a little bit loose in the number 48 machine. Can Vandermeer capitalize? He gets a little bit of a wiggle himself with the number 84, and they're going to go side by side into turn one. This is very late into the race for these set of tires to be putting down aggressive moves and not having to push up the racetrack. It looks like Vandermeer is going to keep it glued down here. And oh, here comes Babinger. He looks to the inside, the number 48 machine. Vandermeer leaves him just enough room to make it a little bit tantalizing, closes the door, dropping all the way down the apron. And I believe James Silvers has been lightly bumped out of the way from McRae. I'm not sure if that was on purpose or not. It's tough here to make any aggressive moves and run nose to tail. But as far as bump and runs go, it looked like it was pretty clean, so that's going to cycle Silvers back to fourth. Tyler McRae is going to take over the race lead. Michael Vandermeer second, Jordan Babinger third, James Silvers fourth, Jacob Feskin in fifth. Feskin's on the far top right of your screen, number 926, the black and red machine. Staying very close to this lead pack, watching to see what's going on and trying to keep some tires underneath them, because up front, these guys are driving very, very hard, and they're about to come up on lap traffic. That's Proctor in the 36 machine. Here comes Vandermeer trying to make a move on Tyler McRae's number 99 machine to take over the race lead for the first time today. The number 84 is up 2 spots, dives it down deep on the inside. Now they've got lap time to contend with. Proctor's got to be careful here. He does not want to get tied up with the race leaders as they are side by side and driving hard. Side by side down the start and finish line straight into turn 1. Proctor drifts high to allow the race leaders. They go 3 wide ever so briefly. Proctor just touches the outside wall, trying to stay away, but that slowed down the pack just a little bit, allowing Babinger and Silvers to catch back up. They're going to go side by side, 2 rows deep. What a show here today. Babinger trying to get around his teammate Tyler McRae to take over second place. Silvers hangs it out wide. Number 21 able to hold on to it. What a save. As now it is a heated battle for second. Tyler McRae, Jordan Babinger going side by side. James Silvers trying to get in the mix, number 21, to get up front and help out his teammate. So now this time by it's going to be Vandermeer, McRae, Babinger, Silvers, Veskinen. Veskinen's been watching this show from 5th place for about 10 or 15 laps now. It's going to be interesting to see if he gets up front and tries to capitalize on it or what may happen. These guys are doing some absolute great racing out there today. Babinger drifts wide, number 48 machine. That may allow, oh, he gets into the outside wall, able to collect himself as they scatter behind him. That's going to allow both Silvers and Veskinen to get through, to try and get up there to help their teammate Michael Vandermeer, who's feeling the pressure from Tyler McRae. Right now you've got 3 Lodo Racing cars in the top 5 with 2 Troppin Bombs guys as well. This has the potential to shake things up for the championship. Right now, everybody's trying to track down Droppin' Bombs Racing. Lodo is in the best shape, about 50 points behind these guys. 40 points behind those guys. As right as we say that, McRae looks to the inside line against Michael Vandermeer. Looks like he may be able to make it stick, but Vandermeer gets such a good drive out of the corner. I think McRae is still going to have that inside line just ever so slightly, just enough where Vandermeer's not going to be able to clear himself down on the inside. James Silver's 3rd place. It looks like Vandermeer's taking back over the lead. McRae 2nd, Silver's 3rd. Oh, they're driving hard up front. It's Michael Vandermeer, Tyler McRae, James Silvers nose to tail. Veskinen has worked his way up to 4th. He's up 3 spots from where he started. And he's also accompanied by Jordan Babinger, number 48 machine. All these guys are so talented in our top 5, putting on quite the show as we're about 1/3 of the way through tonight's race. Silvers gets into the back of McRae ever so slightly, able to collect himself. That may be a returning the favor from what we saw McRae earlier. That is the trick with these guys running so fast and so aggressively. You've got to really trust yourself and your opponent not to make any mistakes. As Silvers gets loose, drifts into Veskinen, his team captain, and goes spinning on to the inside of the track. Able to safely rejoin, but I believe that is going to bring out the caution up front. So James Silvers will receive the EOL for that one for a self-spin. as we're going to get ready to re-rack them and send them back out. I believe that's going to be our third caution of the night. As we get to the 1/3 of the way through their mark. Still have 13 drivers on the lead lap here today. As it looks like most of the field is going to cycle in for their pit stop. Vandermeer, McRae, Babinger, Feskin, and Sullivan. Rex, Shutters, Silvers, Bear, Garner, Breslin, Evans, Patrick, all coming down pit lane for their stop here. Now these pit stops in a street stock machine, again, we touched on it earlier, so painfully long. It simulates someone filling up your race machine with a 5-gallon jerry can. We still have a couple of drivers out on track. That's going to be Proctor, Neri, Edgar, Bronson, Friley still circling around trying to get their laps back while the rest of the field is under caution. Like Steven Rex is going to get out of pit lane relatively quickly, number 28 machine. And now the entire field is going to cycle out here. So the new running order is going to be Steven Rex out front, Matt Bear second, Tyler McRae third, Vandermeer fourth, Babinger fifth. Here we go, pace car is in, and away we go. It's Steven Rex, Matt Bear up front. Behind him, they've got Tyler McRae and Michael Vandermeer, who have been up front all day long, charging hard. We're over a third of the way through here today. Matt Bear is the highest bid, but really highest. Both of these guys have been up here all day. Steven Rex, he's up 10 spots. And Matt Bear is up 4 spots from where they originally started here tonight, not having the qualifying times they really wanted, but able to pull it off here later on in the run. Ooh, a little bit of contact up front between Matt Bear and Tyler McRae. That's going to allow McRae and Babinger to squeeze through here, while Matt Bear will get shuffled back to 4th. Michael Vandermeer, the number 84 machine, trying to work hard on Jordan Babinger to see if he can project himself up just a little bit further. Behind Vandermeer, you've got Matt Bear, Jacob Feskinen, and I believe James Silver's all in the mix as well. As now it is Matt Baer and Michael Vandermeer going side by side. Baer not able to get that outside line working like he would hope to. We had 20 drivers start. We still have 13 on the lead lap. These guys are charging hard. We're about 60 laps through the main event, not quite to the halfway mark, and definitely one of the longest races of the season so far. Stephen Rex out front and charging hard, doing a great job, not having too many issues at this point, able to find some good, clean track after really having a successful pit stop and projecting his way up the front. Again, he's up 10 spots. Rex, he does have one win so far this season out of his 2 starts, where he's able to bring it home at Charlotte for the season opener. He was also able to get a second at Iowa. So good to see Rex out there and charging hard, leading the pack. It is Rex, McRae, Babinger, Vandermeer, Baer, your top 5. Babinger trying to put the work on to Tyler McRae, the number 99, to see if he can take over that second place spot, but he's got to be careful every time he kind of hops out and takes a poke at it. That's going to allow Michael Vandermeer, who is less than a car length behind the number 48 of Babinger, a chance to interject himself into the possible podium party. These guys are really running strong here today. We've seen a few cautions, but for the most part, it's just good, clean, hard racing. As these top 3 are separated by less than 0.2 of a second between all 3 of them. It's going to be interesting to see if McRae, who's drifting high, was about to say if he's going to make a move on Stephen Rex, but now he might have his hands full as Jordan Babinger is going to have the inside line. After McRae was able to hold on to the number 99 machine, all that raw horsepower, just putting down a little bit too much here. So that's going to shuffle McRae back to 3rd. Vandermeer's going to try and capitalize on it as well in the number 84 machine to see if he can squeeze around McRae's number 99, following in tow of Jordan Babinger. Look at this side-by-side racing. That's Michael Vandermeer and Tyler McRae going door to door, leaning on each other through the corners, really able to trust each other not to make any mistakes here and run that close all the way around the racetrack. They are both trying to catch up to Jordan Babinger's number 48 machine. Behind McRae, you've got Matt Baer, Patrick Sullivan watching to see what these lead cars are going to do. As really the field is still pretty stacked up for being almost to the halfway mark. Oh, Vandermeer and McRae get into each other. McRae able to hold on to it. It looked like McRae I think it was Vandermeer, might have pushed up the racetrack and kind of got into McRae there, but able to hold on to it. Fantastic car control. That's going to cycle McRae back to 6th place. Up front is Jordan Babinger, Stephen Rex going side by side. Michael Vandermeer trying to get in the thick of it as well and making a 3-car tango. He goes to the high line to try and follow Babinger, who's just barely in front of Steve Rex, but is Babinger going to have enough momentum through the corner to carry it through, as it looks like he barely will as they cross the start and finish line. It's going to be Babinger, Rex, Vandermeer that last time by. But these guys are battling hard up front. Let's look at that. Vandermeer gets quite the run coming out of turn 1. nowhere to put it though, and Matt Baer, he has moved up to 4th in the number 19 machine. It looks like Steven Rex, number 28 machine, is going to hold on to that second place for a little while longer. We saw a big move from Tyler McRae diving up the inside of Sullivan in the number 16 machine. McRae trying to work his way back up to the front, but he's got a lot of company around him. He's getting a hearty push from the number 1 machine. Oh, the number 1 gives too much of a push to the number 99. Almost sends him careening through. Now the number 1, Jonathan Bronson, he's about 10 laps down right here. James Silvers barely gets to the outside of 99, or the inside, excuse me, of McRae, the number 99 machine, able to hold on to it. These guys are pushing extremely hard. The tire wear is going to start falling off. They're about 18 laps on their set of tires. Racing here, everybody's charging very hard, not having too many issues out on track. Up front, it's Rex, Babinger, Vandermeer, Baer, Sullivan, your top 5. And they are battling hard. Matt Baer is trying to get up to Michael Vandermeer and take over that podium spot. Up front, they're side by side. Babinger and Vandermeer trying to duke it out up front for the battle for second. Matt Baer, the number 19 machine, trying to capitalize on it. And quite the battle for second going on. It's McRae, Baer, Vandermeer, Babinger, Rex, your top 5, all putting on a show out here today. As Vandermeer and Babinger still going side by side. As here comes the number 1 car. That's going to be Bronson interjecting himself in the battle for the lead. Again, Bronson is about 10 laps down right now. Vandermeer and Babinger still side by side, putting on quite a show. And they are still side by side for the battle for second. That's allowing Steven Rex a chance to breathe as he's extended his lead to about 0.6 of a second. While Vandermeer and Babinger are still going side by side. The number 1 machine gets into the back of Vandermeer, and they're still side by side. Babinger gets a little bit loose next to Vandermeer, able to hold on to it, and they are battling quite hard. The battle for second is put on a show. James Silvers is trying to get in the mix as well. Silvers currently 4th on track. He's tucking in behind Babinger, number 48 machine. It looks like Vandermeer ever so slightly was clear of Babinger, but not quite able to make it stick, trying to get down the low line. Silver's doing everything he can, taking a peek to the inside line of Babinger, not quite able to make it stick. Steven Rex really able to extend the gap here. He's got about 3/4 of a second advantage over second place Michael Vandermeed. Watching to see what happens here. Vandermeed starting to catch up to the number 28 machine, starting to find a little bit of a groove here. He's got about down to about 3/10 of a second behind Steve Rex and charging very, very hard. Vandermeed trying to find a way up to Rex, getting closer and closer here to the race leader. Behind him, they've got about 7/10 second advantage to James Silver's number 21 machine, who is currently third on track as they go side by side up front. Steven Rex is going to have the inside line. Vandermeed's going to have to not push too hard. He tries to make the outside stick. At this point, he's got to be careful that his car is not too tight. And it looks like he's going to have spectacular drive around the dogleg section of racetrack and able to secure the race lead here on lap 79 from Steven Rex, number 28 machine. That has stacked the field up just a little bit because here comes James Silvers, number 21, third on track. Again, Silvers is accompanied by Babinger and McRae. And look at this, here comes Steven Rex. He's going to answer. The number 28 driver dives to the inside line, and he wants a piece of it. These guys putting on an absolute spectacular show out here today, really driving hard. As up front, it is once again Rex and Vandermeed putting on a show. No, that's not. That's lap traffic. That's the number 1 machine of Jonathan Bronson. He's over 10 laps down and he has passed the race leaders. He was doing about a 32.95 that last time by. So now it is going to be Michael Vandermeed, James Silvers running up front. So it's going to be Vandermeed, Silvers, Rex, McRae, Babinger, your top 5 here today. We're looking at the lap times to see what updates for these drivers. It looks like they're still running about the same pace they have been. And now here comes Steven Rex, number 28 machine, trying to get his way back up front. So we may be able to click off some single file laps here, as it looks like the guys aren't pushing too hard at this point. We're going to cycle a little bit further back in the field for this second pack, where it's Matt Bear, then Radburn Shutters. And really it seems the track's kind of separated here. When you cycle all the way back to 11th, you've got Paul Garner, Cole Patrick, Tyler Evans running in tow here. But for the most part, it is about 7 or 8 drivers still in the lead pack and just kind of chilling at this point. Vandermeer trying to get around the number 1 machine, who is a lap down, as well as James Silvers. For the most part, everybody well behaved, just clicking off laps here, not having any issues. These guys doing a good job. We got about 60 laps left in this race. We're expecting about one more stop for all of these competitors. Now again, last time they came in was about lap 50 to 51 for most of these competitors. So in theory, they should be able to stretch it out past the 100 lap mark and then come in one final time to fill up and get back out there. As you see Proctor, number 36 driver, he's coming into pit lane. As it looks like for the most part, everybody in our top 5 is kind of clicking off laps here. Tom McRae, he's going to get shuffled back one spot as Patrick Sullivan makes his way around. But our top 3 drivers, Vandermeer, Silvers, Rex, are just kind of following lap traffic here, just kind of getting in a groove and not having any issues. Again, that's Jonathan Bronson, number 1, is at the very front of this lead pack. Bronson clicking off about 32 flats up front, not having any big issues. So it's Vandermeer, Silvers, Rex, your top 3 out on track. interesting to see. I mean, right now it seems like everybody's kind of in a groove. They're not that far off their best laps of the race. Last time by, Vandermeer and Silvers both clicking off 32.1s. Their fastest lap of the race on our fresh set of tires was a mid to high 31.7s. So really haven't dropped a whole lot of pace here. It'll be interesting to see how far these drivers can go on that tank of gas and tire. We saw them able to take a pit stop under caution. And it looks like everybody's starting to catch more lap traffic. Vandermeer and Silvers, again, they're following the number 1 machine that's a lap down, but still holding pace. They're coming up on Proctor, and I can't quite tell who else that other car was. Now, the one saving grace they have is Vandermeer and Silvers has is that the number 1 machine who is a lap down is going to be the first one to cut through any sort of traffic here and possibly sacrifice his race. As we've got about 53 laps remaining in today's feature event. As Proctor unfortunately gets into the outside wall as everybody starts to cut through and then disappears from the racetrack. Out of 20 that started, we still have 12 on the lead lap. We've got about 6 drivers that originally started on the lead lap are still out on track and circulating, trying to salvage some points. It looks like it's going to be Andrew Neri that has retired. Blaze Andrish and possibly Brett Edgar as well, involved in some massive hits. Again, there's no fast repairs here for the Pro Street Stock Series. You get your one car, and that is it. So if you find yourself with a wadded up race machine, you've got to get that thing repaired the old-fashioned way with a whole lot of duct tape, flex seals, and a team of mechanics with a whole lot of hammers to get it banged back in the right direction. Paul Garner, the number 355 machine, he brings it into pit lane, and oh, what a crash! That was Bronson, and I'm not quite sure who that might have been there, causing that big incident. Surely the caution will come out here. As it looks like we're going to keep it clean and green, pointing the right direction. It's still Vandermeer and Silvers out front. Here comes Stephen Rex as well. Now let's see if their lap times improve at all here in lap 101. Now they've got a clean track in front of them. And they're going to bring it into pit lane just like that. So that's going to be our first green flag stops of the night. That's going to allow Stephen Rex to take over the race lead. Patrick Sullivan second, Tom McRae third, Jordan Babinger fourth, and Matt Baer fifth. So it looks like Silvers, Vandermeer, Feskin, and Shutters Evans come in with a plan to take enough fuel to make it all the way to the end under green flag conditions. So So now it is 3 drivers still out. It is Rex, Sullivan, and Bear opting to stay out as long as they possibly can. Again, all these drivers came in on lap 51, so I think at this point they're trying to stretch it out so that way they have the absolute freshest tires at their disposal. As I believe that's going to be Patrick Sullivan making his way into pit lane. So it's Rex is the only car that is staying out right now in the number 28 machine. He is up 10 spots from where he started. His last pit stop was on lap 51, so let's see how long Rex, the number 28 machine, decides to stretch it out here today. So right now it is only Rex on the lead lap as he finally comes in on lap 104. So I believe that's going to put Vandermeed as our race leader now. I think is what's going to happen, number 84 machine. So in pit lane, it's still Rex, Sullivan, and Bear getting their pit stops done. It's usually about a 55 to 56 second pit stop by the time you enter your box to take 4 fresh tires and a full tank of fuel. As Matt Bear is leaving the pit lane, I think Michael Vandermeed may come out in front of him on track. No, Matt Bear is, I believe, going to be the race leader here, with Vandermeed just about a half second behind number 19 machine. Bear came in on lap 103 while Vandermeed came in on lap 101. Who's going to have the freshest tires at the end of this? Steven Rex still in pit lane, finally able to make his way out just as the field comes around. Steven Rex looking to be in a good position here. He comes back out on track in 5th place with about 45 laps remaining. Matt Bear, your race leader in the number 19 machine, trying to cut through traffic here. Looks like he's able to make it happen, as I believe that was the 06 machine he just got by. That was John Friley. He's also getting around Proctor in the number 36, the pink and black machine. So right now, your race leader, Matt Berry's got about a 1.7 second advantage over Michael Vandermeed. We're going to cycle a little bit further back in the field to see what's going on towards the back of the pack. You've got Proctor. He's trying to stay with the lead pack. He's currently in lucky dog contention, as he's the lead driver on the lead lap here. It's going to be interesting to see if he's able to get lucky or not. Having a bit of a rough night getting involved with, I believe, his teammate a couple of times, Nary in the 654, both racing for Perkins Motorsports. As, Proctor has a moment, spins to the inside wall, does a great job locking it up. But that is going to bring out the caution here on lap 110. Proctor, with a heavily damaged race machine, just kind of got a little bit loose all on his own. as that'll bring out the iRacing pace car with Bear, Vandermeed, Silvers, Feskinen, and McRae are top 5 with 40 laps left to go. Things are still really heating up here today. We're going to get ready to re-rack with about 38 laps left to go here. It's going to be Matt Bear and Michael Vandermeed out front. And it appears it's going to be about 11 drivers still on the lead lap here. Quite the long race for our competitors here today. We're about an hour and 15 minutes into the broadcast. Definitely one of the longer races for all of our guys here today. We're going to get ready to grid them up 2 wide and a whole bunch of rows deep. It's going to be Bear and Vandermeed up front for the restart. Behind them, you got Silvers, Feskinen, Sullivan, and Rex. A lot of fast guys still out front and on the lead lap. Pace car will be in this time by as we get ready to send them off possibly the final time here today. And away we go. Matt Bear gets a great launch. He's got Vandermeed and Silver side by side behind him. The 2 teammates trying to find a way through. Here comes Steven Rex as well. And the number 28 machine, he gets a fantastic drive on the inside of Vandermeed. And it looks like Vandermeed's going to be stuck on the high side. That may allow Steven Rex to come through right behind James Silvers. It seems like it is working. Ooh, Vandermeet slides to the inside, trying to get around Steven Rex. That was a beautiful move. Looked like he made it quite clean. So now it's going to be Vandermeet charging up to third. Steven Rex fourth, Patrick Sullivan fifth. As Sullivan gets around Feskin in the number 926 machine, it seems that high side doesn't quite carry as much speed early on the run. The guys that have the tire to dig down on the inside, able to make it happen. Up front, still Matt Baird, James Silvers running 1 and 2. This is the battle for third on screen as Vandermeet is trying to hold off both Rex and Sullivan. And some great racing all around the track here at Phoenix. Everybody pushing hard. Here comes Steven Rex, number 28 machine, looks to make an inside move on Vandermeet, doesn't quite make it stick. Up front, Silvers, he's trying the same move on Matt Baer, almost gets him the bumper, checks up just enough. Now they're side by side up front. There's great racing all across the track as they go too wide up front. It's Matt Baer and James Silvers racing hard to the start-finish line. Baer is going to have him on the line here, but Silvers is getting the data for what he's going to need later on in the race. The laps are closing off, but they do have to keep tire wear in the back of their head. They've got 31 more laps left to go here today. Oh man, what a great show. These guys are battling hard. Again, it's Silvers and Baer up front going side by side. That's going to allow Vandermeet in third, as well as Sullivan and Rex to maybe catch up to the top two drivers and make it a 5-car party. Because Baer and Silvers will not leave each other alone. They're still side by side, 30 laps. That's got to be about 2 laps they've went door to door so far. Neither competitor any sign of stopping. Silvers has a bit of a run there. Not sure if he's going to get clear as they're still door to door. They make contact once more, no harm, no foul, as they're side by side again at the line. That was Silvers just barely ahead by a bumper. But look at this, as they keep battling hard, that has allowed both Vandermeet and Sullivan to catch up, as well as Steven Rex, number 28 machine. As now Vandermeet is going to try and help out his teammate James Silvers to see if he can give him a hearty shove to the front, or possibly steal the lead away from his friend and teammate. Again, there's team points at play, but all these guys, they want the win. They want to bring home the biggest amount of cash they possibly can. 28 laps remaining in the race, and they are still side by side up front. Matt Baer, James Silvers putting on a fantastic show, not having any worries or issues. Silvers with a bit of a wiggle. He's going to lose a bit of a drive there and allow Baer to get a chance to breathe, but not for long, because Silvers is going to return once more. And this time he's accompanied by Vandermeet and Sullivan charging towards the front. These guys are battling like it's the last 5 laps left to go, and they're still side by side the line. This time it's going to be Baer by a bumper. And now they're 2 rows wide and 2 rows deep as Sullivan wants to get in the mix-up at number 16 machine. Michael Vandermeet trying to stay behind his teammate James Silvers to push him up to the front and use that draft to his advantage. But this is going to start stacking the field up and allowing guys to get closer and closer. And man, I've lost track of how many laps they've been side by side. These guys put in an absolutely fantastic show. Vandermeet just trying to look for a spot to squeeze through here to maybe help out a friend or take over the race lead, as it is stacking the field up behind him, while Baer and Silvers have been side by side for 5 or 6 laps at this point. Silvers has Vandermeet, his teammate, right behind him. but just nowhere to really help out here, as they have not left a lot of room for anybody else out of the racetrack. I am amazed at the driving we're seeing from both Matt Baer and James Silvers, your two front runners. They have been clicking off lap by lap next to each other, driving door to door and putting on a fantastic show up front. That is an interesting camera angle. Not quite sure what iRacing had in mind with that one. As look at these guys. Now Silvers is getting a push from Vandermeer, trying to project his way up front. Seeing if he can help his teammate out just ever so slightly, because these guys are letting it all hang out, putting on quite a show. It's still Silvers and Baer, who have been side by side for about 7 laps at this point. As Silvers finally gets a chance to breathe, no longer side by side with Matt Baer after a fantastic showing. It looks like Vandermeer is going to try and squeeze in behind his teammate, number 21 driver, James Silvers, trying to hold off Matt Baer, but they make contact. Vandermeer able to hold on to it, but almost gets collected, because here comes Sullivan in the number 16 machine. Oh, Sullivan, no, he gets hit by, I think that was Babinger. No, what happened was Stephen Rex got into the back of Vandermeer. Vandermeer got pushed into Sullivan, everyone able to keep it pointing the right direction, but they're 3 wide here at Phoenix. As now here comes once more the number 1 machine of Jonathan Bronson, interjecting himself into a race that he is not a part of. He is over 10 laps down right now. And these guys are battling ridiculously hard for that 3rd place spot. It's Stephen Rex, Jordan Babinger, Patrick Sullivan, Michael Vandermeer, Tyler McRae, Jacob Feskinen, all in the mix here. James Silvers, Matt Baer out front with about a half a second gap over Stephen Rex. These guys are doing a good job keeping it nice and clean. We hear a little bit of wall tapping going on, as Jacob Feskinen trying to make a move up the inside of Michael Vandermeer to try and work his way up into that 7th place spot, as these guys are battling hard all across the track. I mean, we're 130 laps in, and really the top 10 drivers are still glued together out here, not having a whole lot of time and place to make anything happen. A lot of great racing going on. That's Tyler McRae trying to work on Patrick Sullivan in the number 16 machine to make a move up into that top 5 spot. Everybody again trying to get some points here and make something happen, as Jacob Feskinen driving around with his teammate Michael Vandermeer. There's contact up ahead. Proctor gets to the wall. Feskinen also bumps into him. Oh, Feskinen gets hit hard. He goes off into the infield. I don't think the caution's going to come out. Oh, no! Feskinen pulls right out in front of traffic. A massive hit. Surely that'll bring out the caution here. So we're going to re-rack them up here with 16 laps left to go. It's going to be about 14 to go as the race concludes. It's Stephen Rex out front, Patrick Sullivan second, Tyler McRae third. We get ready to re-rack him for possibly the final time. It's Stephen Rex, Patrick Sullivan on the front row, accompanied by Tyler McRae, Spencer Breslin, who's worked his way up 8 spots despite those connectivity issues. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here today, as it'll be 13 laps left in the race once the pace car is in. Pace car is in, and away we go. It's Patrick Sullivan, Stephen Rex on our front row, about to put on a show. Oh, they're wiggling, they're sliding. Somebody's out into the wall back there. Not quite sure who that was, as they're still crashing. Oh, we got quite the battle up front. Stephen Rex, Patrick Sullivan, Tyler McRae all going side by side, trying to make something happen. Sullivan and McRae side by side. That's the battle for second. McRae runs him up to the wall. Everybody keep hold of it. Breslin has those internet problems still. And there's more cars coming to party. Here comes Matt Bear. He wants in the mix of it too. As they are battling hard across the track here, the battle for the lead really shaping up. It's about to be 10 laps left to go. As Tyler McRae, he's gotten into Jordan Baptist, number 48. I believe that is going to bring out the caution here. And we did get confirmation. Yes, that's going to bring out another caution with 11 laps left to go. Evans is going to receive an EOL in the 553 machine. we're going to try and catch up to the iRacing pace car for possibly the final start of the night. It's hard to tell, as this has been way more cautions than we're used to seeing here in the Pro Series. We're going to re-rack them double file. It's Stephen Rex, Tyler McRae out front on the front row. Sullivan and Bear on row 2. Silvers and Breslin on row 3. Still 11 drivers on the lead lap. Again, we got confirmation that Evans in the 553 machine did receive an EOL for causing that most recent incident. These drivers have 1 incident. They receive an EOL, 2 incidents, a 30-second stop and go, and 3 incidents, and you are parked for the night. So it looks like they're going to do one more lap under formation before we let the reins loose for these competitors. That'll be 6 laps left to go as they cross the line. The pace car should be in this time by to allow Stephen Rex and Tyler McRae to smash the loud pedal. Here we go. It's going to be 6 to go as they cross the line. It's Stephen Rex, Tyler McRae up front, followed by Sullivan, Bear, Silvers, Breslin. A lot of fast drivers still remaining here today as Stephen Rex dives to the inside. Ooh, Sullivan with a big moment, able to hold on to it. Breslin tags the outside wall, keeps it pointing the right direction. James Silver's charging hard up the inside of Matt Bear. 6 laps left to go. There's going to be no more friendships left on track, as it is Rex at the line, McRae second, Sullivan third. Everybody's pushing hard up towards the front. A big shove in the back of Tyler McRae from Patrick Sullivan. They keep it pointing the right direction. That's going to offer Stephen Rex a lot of room here to breathe, as here comes James Silvers. Oh, who is that? That shutters hard to the inside wall. It is madness with 4 laps left to go. Silvers barely taps McRae in the number 99 machine. Steven Rex out front. He's got about a half-second advantage over James Silvers and Matt Baer. Vandermeet in 4th, McRae in 5th. Three laps left to go. Steven Rex still has 0.4 of a second over James Silvers and Matt Baer running 2nd and 3rd. Vandermeet is in 4th, trying to catch his teammate, while Tyler McRae, who got shuffled around quite a lot in these closing laps, has worked his way back up to 5th inside the top 5. As I believe that's Spencer Breslin leaving the pit lane, all sorts of destroyed in his race car. It's 2 laps left to go. Silvers has whittled away at the gap of Steven Rex. It is down to 0.3 of a second. White flag is out. Here comes Matt Baer trying to make a move on James Silvers. Less than 0.3 of a second separates our top 3 cars. Steven Rex is looking good to bring home a win here once more at Phoenix. Can Silvers catch up to him? Because right behind them, Vandermeet trying to work on Matt Baer. Just not a lot of racetrack left to make something happen. As the checkered flag flies, it's going to be Steven Rex here at Phoenix. James Silvers 2nd and Matt Baer 3rd. My, oh my, what a race. A well-deserved win to Steven Rex. He's up 10 spots from where he originally started here today, and finally able to bring it home at the end, as that was some great racing for our top 5. And a well-deserved victory, and just an all-around great race from a lot of our competitors. That was a tough one for certain guys, but able to bring it home at the end. Very proud of all the drivers out on track. But a great race here at Phoenix, and we had a lot of fun. And these guys put on quite the show. So these are the unofficial results for the night. We're going to handle, if we have any protest handled, and get those sorted before we post our official results. But on behalf of East Action Sports, sponsoring the Pro Street Stock Series here at TeamGoonSquad.com, I'm James East, wishing you a happy and safe evening, and we'll see you next week. Have a great night, everyone.